Here's the way we're going to start our time together today. We're going to start out with a little review of the material about lines we talked about in our last section together, where we defined what slope is, meaning the direction a line is going, and then we defined the slope-intercept form of the equation. So I want you to do your best to remember that, and we're going to start out with this warm-up problem. I would like you to graph negative 5x minus 2y equals 8, and I would like you to do that using the slope and the y-intercept. So the first thing you have to do is recall how to find that from this equation. I'm going to give you a couple minutes to do that. If you're watching the video, I would like you to just go ahead and pause right now and go ahead and give that a try, and then unpause, and we'll check our work together. All right, if you're still working on this problem, go ahead and pause the video, take as much time as you need, and then this is how it's going to go. So I need to figure out the slope and the y-intercept of this line. So we need to recall how to do that, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to write this equation in the slope-intercept form. Well, how do I find slope-intercept form? Well, the way that I do that is I solve this equation for y. So I'm going to take the negative 5x minus the 2y is equal to 8. We did several of these. I'm hoping you did several more on your homework. It's the same steps every time. There's 2 steps to solve this for y. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add the 5x to both sides in order to get the y term by itself. So I have negative 2y is equal to 5x plus 8. And then I'm going to divide everything by that negative 2. And don't forget, on the right side of this, you have to distribute. So I have 5 over negative 2, which is negative 5 halves x. And then 8 divided by negative 2 is negative 4. This is the slope-intercept form. And it's called the slope-intercept form because every time, no matter what, the slope is the number in front of the x, and the y-intercept is this number added on. So when I ask you what is the value of the slope, you're going to say that m is equal to negative 5 over 2. And then the y-intercept is 0, negative 4. All right, again, another thing that we said last time is when I go to graph this, if I have a negative slope, you're either going to take the negative and put it with the numerator or the denominator, but not both. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the negative with the 5 over 2, and I'm going to go ahead and graph. I start my graph at the 0, negative 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 units down, I make a nice dot. And then the slope is negative 5 over 2. Slope is always y over x, rise over run. So that means negative 5 in the y direction, 2 in the x direction. So negative 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2. Boom. Now, I always like to get 3 points because I'm getting old and I don't always count on these grids right. And if I was going to go down 5 and over 2 again, I'm going to be off the grid. So I'm going to go ahead and put the negative with the denominator, which maybe you did right straight away. That is fine. So that tells me to go up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then negative 2 in the x direction. So I go right there. I've got 3 dots. They all seem to line up very well. So I'm going to go ahead and connect them. And boom, there's my line. I love it. I'm proud of it. So here's the key thing to remember. This kind of summarizes a lot of what we did last time. The slope-intercept form is when you have your line solved for y, and then you get mx plus b. Our next couple problems are going to be to do the same sort of thing, which is reviewing what we talked about last time in the slope-intercept form. This time we're going to do the exact reverse process. Notice in example 1, it says write the equation of the line with the slope negative 3/5 and the y-intercept 10. So this time, instead of solving an equation for y like we did to determine the slope and y-intercept, I'm giving you that so we can write the equation of the line. Now, writing the equation of the line, this is going to be our instruction over and over for the rest of our section 2.3. And so the first way is just going to be the most straightforward problem. Is I want to know what the equation of the line is. I give you the slope, I give you the y-intercept. So in this problem right here, it's going to be y equals, I'm going to use that slope-intercept form. And what number am I going to put in front of the x? Well, I'm going to put the slope. I'm going to put that -3/5 in front of the x. And then the number that is going to be added on is +10. So I'm going to give you about 30 seconds. I would like you to do the same thing for exercise 1. Again, I'm going to give you the slope and the y-intercept, and I want you to write the equation of the line, please. All right, so once again, I've asked you to write the equation of the line, and straight away, I've given you the slope is 5 and the y-intercept is 8/3. And so here we go, y equals mx plus b. So what is the number that is going to go in front of the x? Well, again, that's going to be the slope. So hopefully you put the 5 in front of the x, and then the y-intercept is 8/3, so plus 8/3. And there's the equation that is given to me by those constraints. Slope 5, y-intercept 8/3. One more time. Exercise 2, I would like you to go ahead, write the equation of that line, please. All right, so one more time, again, to review the slope-intercept form, I'm going to go y is equal to, and the number that's going to get thrown in front of the x is going to be -1/2 because that is the slope. And then the number that is added on is actually this time a -6, so we're going to have -6. That is the equation that is defined by a slope of -1/2 and a y-intercept of -6. Now, when we turn the page, we're going to be asked to do this same thing several more times. We're going to write the equation of the line, but unfortunately, we're not always going to be given the exact information, the slope and the y-intercept. There are different bits of information, so we're going to need a new tool in order to do that. So what I've tried to do here is I've tried to link today's concept with what we learned last time, which is the slope-intercept form. And now when we turn the page, we're going to be doing the same thing with different information.